You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned into the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. The brothers are in the building. Starting off with my man Jay Moore. How are you, good sir?
I'm doing well. You know, the holidays are upon us, whether you want to believe it or not.
This is true. My man Lonegevity, rocking the section leaders TIC. How are you, sir?
Yeah, man. Doing all right. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Good to see you as always.
You too. I actually have a box of section leader shirts that Terry printed upstairs.
He's very
I found
skilled.
them today with a couple of pieces of our vinyl too.
The wax. I still got the wax.
Yeah.
Speaking of Terry, my man DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutations. What's going on?
How are you, good sir?
I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah. Same old, same old.
Yes, sir.
The weather officially changed, or what we doing?
Nah,
we still playing?
Nah, this
still
is
playing
around
Thursday.
play.
It's still play?
Yeah, because it's about to be like 30. So this is the 52 fake out right now.
Right
Yeah.
now? Okay. Yeah, I came out when I pulled up. I was like, yeah, it's still a little comfortable outside. Ain't quite
Yeah, I had to open
there.
a window today. I got home. It was hot. I'm like, man, let me open up some windows.
Definitely 52 fake though, because it's coming.
Yeah,
that's facts.
if you're one of those people that hold off on getting your baby a coat.
Yeah,
No, we don't play in the cold now.
Yeah, because that's
I heard
yeah,
that.
I heard. Yeah, there we go. Because it's certain things that we take very serious in the community, and
Facts.
The baby.
Cold weather is one of them.
Yeah, but that baby not having a proper coat is another one.
No,
Yeah,
we
you
ain't
can get
playing.
cussed out for that.
All right. So the Grammy nominations recently emerged on the internet, and we have probably all been witness to Andre 3000 and the commentary around him being nominated for multiple Grammys, but also the Grammy for Album of the Year.
Mhm.
So Andre had this to say about being nominated for the Grammy. So he said, "We were trying to be nominated in some type of way for alternative jazz or ambient, possibly. But I was, I say ambient, but I was totally surprised by this. So yeah, it was super, super, super duper cool. New Blue Sun, an instrumental jazz album that sees Benjamin perform the flute, has been nominated for Album of the Year, Best Alternative Jazz Album, and Best Instrumental Composition for the album's opening track. I swear, I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time." Does this make us look at the Grammys any different? Was kind of the question, or is this
They are who we thought they were.
I know, right?
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
This doesn't change anything in my mind. If anything, it validates what we've consistently said on this program.
Yeah.
And you know, this is a pro Outcast, pro 3 Stacks program.
Very
I
pro.
think that's fair to say, right?
Andre's my top 3.
Come on, man. Best rap group ever, in my opinion. But this just simply is not it. And when I say not it, this is in relation to the Album of the Year nomination. 100% cap. I read the part where it says alternative jazz and
Maybe.
and then best instrumental composition. Now there are some very cool compositions, chord progressions and stuff on there, but even still with that,
No.
I'm like, nah, I can't vouch as a musician. I just can't vouch for that bro. I just don't see it.
I can see the alternative jazz because it's very alternative, and he's not the only composer on there. So I can see how that makes sense. But as far as Album of the Year, I mean, when has a alternative jazz album been nominated for Album of the Year?
I'd have
Other
to do
than
the
like
research.
a Herbie Hancock was nominated. I think he may have won.
Mm.
This is specifically because it's Andre 3000.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
pretty
reason
much
why
it.
he was nominated. I don't think that was anything that blew anybody away as far as musically. It would be cool to see it in person just because it's Andre 3000. I mean, at this point in time, Andre is bigger than the music.
Facts.
So
That's what this is showing.
Facts.
yeah, because it's not. He definitely didn't earn that off the music. He earned it off of him
Yep.
being Andre 3000. So
Yeah. It's the same issue that I had back when Cardi won hers, when Nipsey was not at the same
Right.
time. It's like Cardi won just mostly off name recognition of that year. But
that was super cap back then too.
yeah, but yeah, my as far as instrumental is concerned, like it's weird that a album gets nominated for a Grammy where there's multiple notes being played on this album that aren't in key. You know,
and he did it purposely like that.
Well, he
Did
he said he didn't know any better, or to that degree. You know, like which is again like. Andre didn't ask for this, so I'm not even mad at it.
It has nothing to do with him.
You know, it has nothing to do with him at all. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, come on, like, it's even like the best instrumental album, or is it instrumental album or instrumental jazz album?
Instrumental.
Best instrumental composition. Like, nah, like I know people personally that put out better instrumental composition projects in the last year. That now, granted, they're not Andre 3000, but like.
That's the point.
The actual work? Sure.
Yeah. But anyways.
Well, I mean, I'll just be honest, guys. I sat and listened to this album, you know, because I knew it was something we were going to discuss on the show, and I haven't picked it up since. I mean, there's really no point. I don't have trouble sleeping, so I just didn't. You know, I feel for the people who really set their sights on getting best instrumental composition or best alternative jazz album, or even the people who made an album thinking it might get album of the year. You know, and then one of the spots is taken up by Andre 3000 in this, you know, off-key flute album that, I mean, some people say they like it. I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to call anybody a liar. I just know that I know most people, like, they listen to it for the novelty of listening to it. And then, you know, they haven't revisited it since. I don't know, man. Like, when I looked at a lot of the nominations this year, it's going to be very predictable. And it's, you know, I'm one of those people that thinks, like I've talked about how Beyonce should just stay home.
The Grammys are going to give Beyonce something.
Yes.
Country?
Maybe they'll try to make a statement by giving, but I'm telling you, like a lot of those other categories, she's nominated along Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish. So
rap.
She might as well just stay home.
Yeah, it's a rap on those. Yep. I agree with that. But no, overall, man, this is, even when you talked about the listening purposes, when you talked about listening to it for the sake of, you know, us talking about it, but my run was solely because of what Lone said. It's 3 stacks. I had no expectations. I didn't think it was going, you know, reinvent the wheel. None of that. It's just, I'm about to run it off the strength of 3 stacks. And when I listened to it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted people to flip it, and it was flipped.
I flipped it.
Yep, sure, very well, I might add.
I think I could have been nominated.
Lone could have been nominated.
I think I got snubbed.
Yours, the way you flipped it could have been very alternative. We'll just say that.
Hey, man, Lone loves Andre. Go check that out.
Yeah, we'll buy it.
Yeah, or steal it. It's okay. I mean, it's okay.
As long as you listen to it.
Yeah, you know, give it a shot, because I think, you know.
Hey, listen to it and then subscribe to us. We appreciate it. We'll take it that way.
Yeah, and then write the Grammys and tell them.
Yeah,
like, hey, you know.
Yeah. Not going to do any good. That's that's just like, it's funny to me because I always see a lot of people that haven't made it big post about how they're up for Grammy consideration. And it's like, let's be real with yourself here. I seen somebody local do this like a month ago. Like nobody here locally actually probably has even listened to it. There's just different things in the bucket you have to get to be considered to be nominated, and you getting that message and you posting it like you're actually going to be nominated for a Grammy.
Oh yeah, I dropped an album. That means that I'm up for a Grammy.
Come on, man.
You know, it's crazy. You can tell the difference between the authenticity in the post, because to Terry's point, it's just like, yeah, you know, I'm up for consideration, versus the people that show the nomination or show that it's confirmed. Hey, I was a part of this record and here's my names in the credit. Shout out to the homie, that's it. He always posts when he's up for a Grammy or something, but it's the real thing.
Also,
as a producer,
shouts to like, you know, Pat Jr. because he got a Grammy for working with Lecrae to some degree.
That's
last year.
Yeah. So and Pat, that's
legitimate.
Real. That's legit.
Yeah. That's not, I'm up for consideration. Give me a whole bunch of likes from my algorithm. Because a lot of people don't understand how it works. So they somebody posts, I'm up for nomination or consideration.
Me too.
They automatically think that, oh, this must be important. No, it's not really that important.
You know, technically, since I sampled this, can I just throw it out like I'm technically kind of up for consideration?
I mean, you're a part of it. So
I'm not.
I mean, we were more.
We'll say that
we were more a part of consideration for the award. Yeah. So yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
If Jay Moore record Down Home Blues, he's gonna be considered for best blues album.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, because I'm considered to be nominated. I mean, like if you put out any art, it could be considered that you would be nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't actually get to
consideration might be,
Yeah, but you don't actually get to consideration for a Grammy until you're nominated. Like, to just say, I'm in consideration to be nominated. What?
Yeah, you haven't even sold 100 copies. So what makes you think you're going to win a Grammy?
That's true. That's why I will never win a Grammy.
straight up. I ain't sold 100 copies. So, yeah, sorry.
But I think the Grammys are exactly who we thought they were. I think we talk about this every year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, they do kind of right one year, and then it's just kind of like a relapse the next year. It's like they got Killer Mike and all that stuff kind of
now
right.
They fall right back off and go right back to it.
It's like, I don't know why, and I love Andre, but it's like,
this ain't it, 3 stacks.
Like, why?
You got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is just one of them things where, okay, I was happy that he actually did something musically, but let's move on from that and hopefully get you in the studio somewhere doing something else musically with your mouth. Pause.
Music where the mouth is. So in further Andre 3000 news, recently, I think this was like last week, Andre and Touré talked with each other. It's kind of an interesting interview too, because you can tell Andre during the interview was like just walking around, because there's times where he's like, sounds like you could hear cars and stuff, and it's like he was talking to people. But in this interview, there was one particular part that's kind of been getting a little bit of news as well. This album will not count towards his albums on his deal, which I believe is with Epic. So it's kind of an interesting thing that you can have an album do super well, but he'll explain kind of why.
They congratulated on the process. They congratulated on what the work was, but contractually, it's very interesting. My label will not count this album against my contract.
Oh, you're still under the same Outkast deal?
No, this is as a solo artist. Yeah, I mean, we're still, it's 2 different contracts. There's Outkast and then there's solo.
Wait, you have a solo deal with Epic and they're not counting New Blue Sun?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
How do we do that?
Yeah, I didn't understand it at first. We were trying to find ways around it, but I understand it in a way too, because if I'm on the other side, like I always try to put myself on the other side. I think my attorney explained it in this way, that it was invented in the 70s, maybe, when artists were trying to get out their deals. So they were just pretty much turning in anything.
Yeah.
And so you have to have some type of legal stipulation that stops from you doing that. So it's something where it says the next recording has to be 90% like the recording before it.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying?
That's in your solo deal.
It's everybody's deal. They don't know it because most people are not doing this kind of thing, but it stops you from turning in hand claps, 10 tracks of hand claps.
Right.
And I get it. But Sylvia and the team, they've been so supportive. They know I'm not turning like a hand clap album. They get it.
Yeah.
But as a business, this is kind of like the stance that they took, And to be quite honest, like I'm not hurrying trying to get out of my deal. It's not like I'm trying to let's hurry up and get out and then, I'm about to put out this rap album.
Right.
No, I don't have a rap album, none of that kind of shit. So it's not, I just felt like I wish it would count. But I think it's interesting news that artists should hear that this album is not counting.
Well, kind of makes sense though. The way he put it, because say one of us go get a record deal and they signed us based off of our talent that we had, and we gave them one album with that specific realm of talent, and then we followed it up with Jay Moore Sings the Blues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or sitting there playing the piano or something like that. That's not what you got your record deal for.
Right.
So, I mean, that makes sense in a semantics, so to speak. But I almost was going to say maybe he did that to try to count something towards his deal, but he answered that question by saying that he wasn't trying, he's not in a hurry to get out of the deal. Mm-hmm. But now that's very interesting though, that they can still hold you to that though, because it almost seems that, okay, so I put out this album, doesn't count towards my points or toward my album releases, but it's still under your house and you're still benefiting from it.
Yep. But also, like, it's obviously doing well because it's nominated for multiple Grammys.
Right.
So you would think that
there'd be a clause for that. Or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if I'm Stax, part of me is like, to your point, it's doing well. You guys are doing well off of it, and I'm getting Grammy nominations. Why wouldn't you want this to count? Yeah. But
goes back to how Lupe Fiasco.
Okay.
Remember, he was putting out albums trying to get out of his deal, and he was still rapping, but you could tell that the passion wasn't in there the same way that it was prior. Just trying to hurry up and get done with the deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. At least he was rapping though.
I wonder what he has left, or what are the specifics left on
Like his deal?
Yeah, his individual deal, his solo deal. Like what are his?
I'm not even
to fulfill it.
I'm not even sure it's a solo deal.
No, he said it was.
He said it was two separate ones.
Well, he also clarified too, and he said, "Well, as part of like kind of the Outkast deal or something." I don't honestly know because he's never released a solo rap album. So,
well, I don't know how they counted. I don't know how they specifically counted that Outkast release when it was one Big Boy and one Andre album, though.
But that was like 20 years ago.
But they still under contract. They haven't released an album since then, other than Idlewild.
Idlewild, yeah,
and that was more of a compilation
soundtrack. Yeah.
Frank Zappa, I'm not sure who was familiar with him or not.
Yeah.
Like,
don't eat the yellow snow.
He literally was one of those people who, like, you know, he asked, like, how many albums do I have left on my contract? They're like 3. He's like, cool. And then he just goes in and hands them like the master recordings for 3 albums. Now, I don't know what was on in those records, but like, I think that's the sort of thing that Andre's talking about, the precedent that was set with people just turning in any damn thing. I mean, like, think about it when Marvin Gaye was on Motown and he had to do Hear My Dear. Which is like loved now a lot more than it was when it came out, you know, and it was just like, you just made a double album to satisfy your divorce, you know, and there's no singles on it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a precedent for, you know, record companies kind of covering their ass, if you will, for artists just turning in any old thing to satisfy the deals that they got. Now, mind you, people used to sell or sign rather 17 album deals. Like,
we got you for the rest of your life.
If you look at like a group like the Temptations, they might have put out 2 full-length albums and a Christmas album in 1 year.
True.
You know, and so it was just kind of crazy, like the pace at which people had to work to even be considered to satisfy their contractual agreement with these major record companies. Like I said, I'm never surprised when I hear about record company hijinks.
Yeah.
And the things that they still do to create a system to where, you know, they're creating revenue off of your talent, and like they're going to find a way to make sure you continue to create revenue. Luckily, really, Andre is not in that situation to where he just has to do this to live. He doesn't have to rap or play the flute to eat.
That's a good point.
You know, but there are some people who are like, all right, well, I got to get back in the studio so I can at least try to maybe pay for the last 2 or 3 records that I still owe on. They keep advancing me money. Yeah. And you know, they keep giving me these loans that I cannot pay back. But part of the reason you can't pay the loan back is because, you know, they dictate how much the dollars you generate are worth to you to pay the loans back. You know, it'd be one thing if like it was an actual loan and say I take out a loan for $10,000. Okay, I can go work at said job, you know, and say I'm making $20, $25 an hour, then I can really figure out, okay, how quickly I'll be able to put money aside and make the monthly payments or if I want to pay it off all at once. Crazy thing about the record industry, because whenever they talk about it, like, you know, these record companies or banks is, okay, say they lay out $100,000, you know, for you. But the thing is, like, they write in on the other end how many points you get per album. So they're determining how quickly you can pay back the money they gave you.
Facts.
Like, it's when you think about this, it's once again, read your contracts, ladies and gentlemen. Read your contracts.
Yeah, for sure. Read. I think that's just kind of what, I mean, we've talked about this a bazillion times too, but it's definitely know what's in those contracts.
I think it's dope that he made the point to say people need to hear this. Yeah. So that's good. So
because he alluded to it in everybody's record deal. Yeah. So a lot of people may not know that.
So that's a good do your Googles moment. Go back and do your research, and you know, Stacks just threw y'all a lob, really. In all actuality, that's a lob.
Because technically, you know, they could say, "Hey, Beyonce, this country album doesn't sound like Bootylicious or
Bootylicious." That's what you had to pick. Yeah. That's the joint.
It doesn't sound like Irreplaceable. Is that better?
There we go.
You know, I don't think we can count this towards your contract. Now, Beyonce probably has something that's so ironclad and individual.
Yeah, she actually had vocals on hers too, though.
This is true.
Because that goes. I mean, if that was the case, there's a lot of artists that that wouldn't be able to provide all the albums that they're supposed to because they're jumping genres trying to catch a sound, essentially. I mean, you can say the same thing for Joshua Timberlake. His album before last was
That Man in the Wild or whatever that bullshit was.
And that did absolutely nothing. And he still was able to tour with that.
Yeah, because they wanted to hear all the other songs.
They wanted to hear Sexy back. They didn't want to hear Man in the Woods or whatever that was.
Yeah.
I wonder how they even quantify like 90%, like how they can even,
that's
like,
a good question.
From like a creative standpoint, like how can you even say that something is 90% like
the last one,
or something like that? I wonder because that seems like a very,
well, it's got to have a basic metric though.
It's kind of easy because there's no lyrics.
No, for sure. His is super easy, but I mean in general, like
rap album to rap album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
'Cause I feel like if that's the way that it's kind of worded, and I would be super curious to see a contract that says this, but if it does say something similar to that, it's like, that is so subjectable.
Oh my God.
Subjective, excuse me.
Yeah, it is. So, it is 100%.
What happens when an artist becomes Christian and decides to do all, gospel music instead of the secular music they were signed for?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
I'm not sure exactly what the situation was. I mean, I don't remember, because remember after Q-Tip put out Vibrant Thing and Breathe and Stop, and he put out another called Kamal the Abstract. Yeah. That most of you are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it didn't really come out when it was supposed to. I think they issued it later, because I remember I had some vinyl pieces on it, but it was him singing, and like there's very little rapping on this album. And I'm not saying it was great, but when he came back with the Renaissance, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, a Q-Tip album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, especially at that time when people were still buying physical CDs and they're thinking about budgets and videos and rollouts, when they got that Kamal the Abstract album, they were like, nah, we're good. I remember Khalees, her second album didn't come out in the United States at all. So these record companies make certain decisions that, because first of all, they want to keep you in those contracts as long as possible, because you might get one with the fifth album, so if we can keep you creating, and keep you under, to maybe you'll be able to pay back this loan. Maybe they're going to keep you around as long as possible, and they're going to do things that are in their favor every single time.
In a fairly recent clip that came out a little bit over a month ago, Ebro talked about how hip-hop's elder statesmen need to be held accountable for the state of hip-hop. Now, this is another one of our old hip-hop person yells at a cloud type of things, but we can discuss
somebody like me who's been around and seen the ebbs and flows of it. I don't think there's a decline in the passion for it and even in the consumption of it. I think the problem actually is those secondary and tertiary fans who weren't really hip hop fans. They're just popular music fans. We talked about
we talked about it.
Right, so they're people those are the people who are going to come and go just based on trends. They're not here for the culture or, really the art forms and things like that we hold near and dear. Any decline that you see in hip hop is our fault. Hip hop collectively, because we let hip hop become this, everybody gets in, everybody's got a chance. I recorded 50 songs last night.
I understand what you mean, but when you say we let it happen, how do we control that? Like, how do we control those outside?
I'm not saying we could have stopped it, but I think it's important for us to all take accountability.
Because then when people complain, then it turns into it's a generational divide, the gatekeepers, it's old heads.
But that's why I want to put a marker down and say we. I do believe that the younger kids can look at this and go, oh, we didn't care for this thing. We didn't take care of the songwriting. We didn't take care of the music making. We didn't take care of the fan base. We didn't go out and put our best shows and throwing it out so we could grab a bunch of money. And when you do that and it just becomes a money grab, your becomes disposable.
There's a lot in that clip that he addressed, but a couple of things that jumped out to me is when he talked about, I guess, the accessibility in terms of everybody being able to do it. We've talked about that before. Like he said, record 50 songs in the house or whatever. Yeah, he might be onto something there, but it's funny coming from a guy that runs a playlist who says it's our fault. I don't know.
He's on a set that says Apple Music.
Yeah, but
what I'm saying,
elaborate on
the reason I'm saying that is because wouldn't he have? You would think he would have more control as to what goes on his playlist.
But didn't he just say?
He said he took accountability.
He took accountability.
Well, I guess he did. He did kind of take out. You're right. He did. You're right. I was trying to go at him too hard on that part because you've run one. Like, you are one of the people. So I guess y'all right in that regard. He did take accountability for it.
I mean, because at the end of the day, he adapted to the system in which he was given.
Definitely did.
But I mean, as far as this is one of them topics that we discussed in layers in different ways, shapes, and forms.
I feel like we've approached it from 18 different angles.
Agreed.
So it's one of those things where I want to say like we missed the way things operated back in the day. It is a lot easier for you to make an album and put it out. I can, like he said, we can after this show, we can make an album and put it out tomorrow.
Right.
We got 2 producers in here. We have an MC and we have a DJ.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we can come up with some lyrics and put out something real quick tomorrow, and it's out. And that's just how easy it is to do now if you have the right pieces. As far as we talk about quality control and things like that, there's nobody gatekeeping that. And once, so say we did put out this album and we meant it to be a joke, and one of those songs takes off on social media. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have a hit and eyes are on us to either make another hit or transition into becoming a host of some kind or an influencer or somebody that sits around and plays video games.
True.
Because a lot of people do that in order to just get their foot in the door. They might use a tool such as rap in order to do that. But I mean, that's just the nature of the beast right now. You can't stop it. The wheels are already turned. It's a snowball effect.
I think you could actually say that the number of people that, to your point, you're right. But the number of people that get into it to access those other chambers could be, if not the same, higher than the people that are actually creatives that want to rap.
I think
in today's climate, like it could be significantly higher.
Yeah,
I don't know how high, but it could be significantly higher because everybody's trying to use it as a money grab, to his point, to branch off to do something else. I agree with that.
I mean, we talk about the idea of moment music, pretty extensively on this show, but there's been moment music in every era.
Yeah. Has the moment music in every era been as powerful as it is now? That's my question. Because I don't think so.
Yes, but when there was a difference in the level of access we had to music, say and I'm once again, I know it seems like I get to picking on people, but say in 88, 89 when Steezo came out and he had on the old lame pants dancing in front of the World Trade Center. I remember liking that song at the time, but I don't really have any real use for it now. And the access I had to that song was whether or not I saw it on Yo MTV Raps, or if maybe it made it into the mix show during the thunderstorm with Doc Love in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was it. I wasn't going to hear it during the week. It wasn't going to get played like on whatever, randomly after the Cosby Show or whatever on any real mainstream outlets.
Yeah.
But we sometimes we get upset at the idea of the prevalence of what we consider to be moment music just because of the level of access and how much it seems to flood the market because of the difference in technology. So like there was moment music, in the 90s when we talk about our golden era, when you talk about 93, 94, there was in the golden era, there was 88, 89. There was moment music on all levels, what I'm saying? Things that I thought, oh man, this is incredible. But then like, I didn't like it enough to go out, run out and get the album. And when they didn't come out with another album, I wasn't disappointed. I think we have these conversations and we say, oh, well, this is, the music and we didn't do this and we didn't gatekeep and we didn't, all I'm saying is like, we also have to take into account, just like, all of us, like, except for Mike, we like to play video games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, we can complain about like, if we go back and play like a retro game and be like, oh man, it doesn't have this feature or it doesn't have, but a lot of times we have to view that through the level of technology. Sega Genesis just couldn't do what the PlayStation 5 can, so sometimes we have to think about those things in context.
Yeah, that too. And I'm sorry, you might have had a point.
No, go ahead.
What I was going to say is back then, the thing about it is the record label was putting money behind that moment music too.
Mm-hmm.
So they might push it for a while, but after it's not doing what they wanted to do,
there we go.
They pull the plug on the artist. Whereas now, somebody can make moment music right this minute and put it out tomorrow, and it pops on one of these platforms And now all of a sudden, you got this bullshit ringing in your ear, and now somebody's trying to sign said person, give you more bullshit because there's no investment in creating it now. Whereas back then you had somebody engineer it, you had to shoot a video for it. I mean, there was times on 106 in Park where you might have seen some Drake. This is Drake's second coming. Mm-hmm. He tried before on 106 in Park, and we wasn't feeling it.
Right.
So once he got the Wayne co-signed and did a little better on his lyrics, then it propelled him. So I can't sit back and just say that it's all on us as far as letting this stuff go. But there's a lot more ears on it and a lot more people that think everything's a joke and is cool with just bullshit anyway at the end of the day.
And I think that speaks to what I meant when I said the power. That what you just said is why I think it's more powerful now, because the access is damn near unlimited. No, you can literally just do it. Mm-hmm. And the eyes and the views that you're going to get, there were 5 steps to get half of those views back then. Now we all on the same playing field. Streaming services, more than that, because, put it out and it's time to go.
A lot of them artists had to be groomed. They had to be, prepped for stardom, so to speak. And then they got like, okay, here's 3 singles. If one of those singles don't hit, you out here. We about to put so much money up, and if nothing happens, we'll show it. We got the budget to put you on TV. If they ain't feeling it on there, then we pulling the plug on you. Even RZA was Prince Akeem?
Prince Rakeem, yep.
With his first single.
Yep.
I remember that song.
I saw it on Yo TV Raps.
It didn't pop like that.
I remember not liking it then.
Exactly. So I mean, it gave you a chance, but then once your chance ain't happening, they pull the plug on you. Whereas now it's like, you'll get that moment for a minute. You'll get that moment at least long enough to get paid off of it nowadays. Then all of a sudden it disappears, but shoot, you've already done what you wanted to do.
Well, I mean, but at the same time, I think the marketplace will dictate whether or not you're worthy of another moment or extended moment. Like, once again, I know it's not, I just use the example. I don't care if people feel some kind of way. Shoot, this is what we do here.
It's what we do. Say it.
But like, remember when it was the girl Erica Banks, she had the Bust It challenge, and all of a sudden you couldn't get away from that. No. It was all on social media, and it was in the club. No. Well, I don't know if she's put out any music since then.
Couldn't tell you.
You know what I'm saying? So the marketplace will dictate. Somebody could try to grab a hold of your moment and throw some money behind it, but when the people aren't with it,
yes,
especially if you market to a certain audience, I mean, as big as the baby was, he can't buy another hit right now, and he's got some music out that I think is good. But the people,
he's still making his rounds.
But he ain't not going to beat the Grammys this year.
My only thing is, what's the solution?
Good point.
I feel like we're past this accountability stage at this point. Mm-hmm. Okay, we just have to hold ourselves accountable. Okay, but I think those of us who are a part of it already understand that aspect, right? So what is the solution if this is a problem? What is the solution? And that's the conversation I would prefer to have, as opposed to theorize and go down that rabbit hole of it's like, I feel like we already know, right? So what are you doing? Is his playlist, is that part of it? All right, so if you want to create this gatekeeping of such, what does it look like? What is this thing? When you look at it from the lens of the capital motive, and it's just the motive has shifted a little bit in how people get money, but it's really kind of the same as it's always been, at least since the mid 90s. Once hip hop became super hyper capitalist, from the Biggie era, essentially, and everything after that, it's kind of been the same. So if money is at the root, the main thing of an art or of a creative thing, it's always going to go down. Eventually, it's going to trickle down to this whole thing to where what we see the art as right now, because merit right now is commerce and how much you're making and all that stuff. So until we get rid of that monetary level of whatever this is, of the art's worth being completely tied to how much money it's making, I don't think we can get rid of this.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change, simply for the fact, like you brought up the Biggie era and the artists coming up then that were actually getting paid. The difference was like we still had moment music at the time, but I mean, let's keep it a buck. Everybody that's getting paid were good at their art form. These were lyricists that could talk about it, talk about what they doing, sounded good, the production was good, the music, the whole product was good. That's the reason why they were making the money. If somebody came with something mediocre, then I'm like, no, we cool on that. We focus on this. Now the art form has shifted to where it's not so much about somebody lyrically anymore. Like they had the lyrics and the look. Now it's more about the look and your followers and how you can influence somebody. It's not based upon solely or a majority of your actual talent.
I would argue that, again, when money is involved in the art, it's always that. And so like
it's always what?
It's always when art is just made for art's purpose, then the people that are making the art care about the art. Mm-hmm. But when art is being made, but there's always this motive on the side where it's like, well, there's capital involved. That is always the thing. And when hip hop made that switch, now it's always kind of been that way, but when it made a full switch, and I guess I would probably argue that it's always been like that because it's hard for.
Once you put it on wax, that switched.
Yeah, even like
well, that's the music business in general.
But that's business in general, and I think that when we talk about like the de-evolution of music, I think it's directly tied to capitalism. I guess is what I'm saying and I think we're just seeing this slow death of art within said system because it's just what it pushes. It's pushing money, and people are chasing money because they care more about money than they do art, and that's not going to change under a system where you have to care about money more than art.
You said a word right there because people care about money more than they care about life itself. And that's the reason why we're in certain situations that we're in right now. Even when it comes down on a political level, people think such and such is going to garner them more money. They could care less about what it's going to do to them on a moral moral point of view. They only care about the monetary. People will tell you that they will sell such and such for whatever. They just want the money.
Right.
And that's just where we're at as a whole, I think, as a society, period.
Yeah.
But like the art, we talk about art forms and hip hop. I think the problem is hip hop is, and he was talking about how we let anybody in. That's one thing that sticks out. Do we really though? We don't, but we do. Because anybody can get in if they just do it and it pops and it's automatically classified as rap. They don't classify it as anything else. They automatically group it with rap. And I have this whole thing with saying everything is hip hop. These TV shows, Love and hip hop. This is hip hop. How you dress is hip hop. Everything is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It almost like it falls to, I don't know. That bothers me because I don't think everything should be classified as hip hop.
When it is,
somebody calls it that.
When it is, it dilutes the product, man. Everything gets watered down because anything can be associated with or called hip hop. So now hip hop looks like gumbo. It's a little bit of everything now. Everybody's
good though.
Yeah, good, gumbo is good, but everybody's associated with it. So I can be hip hop if I do this, if I do that, and that just waters down the product.
Or I'm going to use it, and we've talked about this so many times. How many artists use hip hop to get in the door and then leverage it to something else?
Yep. To what they actually want to do,
exactly,
or who they actually are.
Right, because it's like we're so quick to invite somebody to the barbecue based off of one song.
True.
And this dude looks cool, and really that's a facade that he just did that to get on. Now he gave you little bits and pieces.
Stop talking about Post Malone.
And now I'm gonna move on and do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what he's talking about as far as letting anybody in. Because just because somebody appears to be cool, this kind of goes back to the conversation we had last week about how I can't identify people based on their musical interests anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? People can use that as a tool just to get in under this guise that they're a rapper or they're hip hop, and then I'm not really that. I'm much more than that. And then they want to, you know what I'm saying?
If there wasn't a profit motive, I know I'm harping on this, but if there wasn't a profit motive behind creating art or being in fashion or creating whatever the thing, you know, like you're just doing the thing because you really genuinely did it and you wanted to do it, I think that in itself fixes the problem. because then people aren't going to be chasing something for the side. They're just going to be chasing the thing that they want to be chasing.
Be a lot less people doing it. Because there's no monetary gain. To your point,
I think
there'd be a lot less people doing it.
Yeah, I think even the people that want to do it wouldn't do it then. Because
I don't know about that.
We're in a society now where you have to have money to survive.
But what I'm saying, I guess what I'm proposing again is anti that, right? Mm-hmm. If we destruct the capitalist system that we have, and then we don't chase money in the same type of way. I guess what I'm proposing is a completely drastic change of mindset in the sense of, like, I think it's societal. I don't think when I talked about, like, what is the solution to this, I don't think there is one in the current environment of what we have. I don't think we can police this. I don't think this is something that can be, it's just going to continue to spiral out of control until, the arts are entirely consumed and they don't matter anymore.
You remember the conversation we had? Because we had the conversation. You made a very dope point a while back. It's a long time ago, but you talked about kind of like what you're saying now about value versus, the capitalistic part. We had the conversation about the Bandcamp artist that doesn't have the fanfare, but can still create and be creatives, pay the bills, and be cool with that.
Right.
Like, to me, that's kind of closer to what you're talking about versus the people that are strictly motivated off money. Because there's plenty of people out here that's eating off Bandcamp that's just fine.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a completely different conversation that I would take this even farther left than what I have. But I feel like I don't know what the solution is.
I don't think
otherwise.
Because we have this conversation so much, I think the solution is for us to stop complaining about how people make art and whether or not their motivation is to get paid or to make great art. Because if their motivation is to get paid, great. If they wind up getting paid because they something about what they did wind up resonating with the people, they should be paid. Then that capitalistic part of it should come into play. There are people I would rather, but I'm just like, my thing is, hey man, just say out loud, this is what you was trying to do. All right. You're not trying to make this grand artistic gesture that is going to be studied for the next 50 years. You just want to make a song that people are going to shake their ass to. And then, don't get mad when people call you on the fact that you make songs that people shake their ass to. You knew what you did when you started this thing out. Didn't nobody think you were going to be Nas or Chuck D or Rakim or Queen Latifah? Like, you made a song that was about just basically shaking ass and drinking liquor. Cool. All right. Hopefully you get a liquor deal and you can get some club walkthroughs out of it. Yeah. So I'm never good. But I just, at this point, I'm not going to judge anybody's motivation.
Right.
Like, I am somebody who consumes art, and I want to hear people who are sincere. And when people are sincere about an artistic statement, I want to do anything I can to support them. Like, I'm not going to be sitting up here complaining because things aren't the way they used to be. I think we just got to get out of that mode.
I agree, and I don't think we're there. I think the conversation's old at this point. Like, there's nothing that we can really address that's really going to change anything. So, like, I don't even think what you said addressed what Ebro said, but I don't think what he said can actually be addressed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
It's a wrap for that.
Yeah, too far gone.
Just support the things you like, guys.
That's the key. That's the key.
And stop, like I said, stop complaining about the problem children in the class and nurture the kids who actually do their homework and read the books. I know I've made that example more than once on this show, but I think that's just so much of what this conversation, I won't even call it an argument, winds up being about. Is like,
could you make the case that Ebro cares too much? Does he care too much about the culture?
I think he cares.
That's how it sounds. Does he care too much?
To me, it feels like he's caring about the wrong thing.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with caring, right?
Okay.
But what he's also trying to do is control something that can't be controlled, while also working for
part of the machine.
Yeah, he's exactly like he's a part of the machine in his own type of way. So like, you can't fix it in that manner. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I hear you.
Yep. It's a wrap.
Yep. So this segment is, last week was, is Eric Sermon yelling at a cloud? And this one's going to be, is Ebro yelling at a cloud? Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member. All details on newoldheads.com. This is an article from Revolt. The 13 ways Lil Wayne has revolutionized hip-hop. Is this list a reach? So Lil Wayne has been a rap powerhouse since he was just 11 years old. Here's a dive into 13 ways that Revolt writer Charmaine Johnson thinks Wayne has revolutionized hip-hop. Number 1, he shaped hip-hop lingo. Lil Wayne's influence on hip-hop language is undeniable. The creation of terms like bling bling in the late 90s revolutionized how people talked about wealth and opulence. And the phrase even earned a spot in the Oxford English Dictionary. Similarly, drop it like it's hot became a staple in cultural lexicon. These phrases coined by Wayne have permeated everyday speech and continue to resonate within beyond the hip-hop community. His ability to innovate linguistically has left a lasting mark.
I could say it about Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
About 840.
Yeah.
The bling bling thing.
Not like Wayne, though.
Did he didn't actually coin bling bling though.
He did though.
He did. He definitely did.
No, I don't think he did.
Did he actually
Because I
write
looked
that?
I looked this up, and it's not and it's not contributed to him. Because I was like, well, was it Wayne or was it BG or was it one of the Hot Boys or something?
No, it actually was a chick on Cash Money that was helping Lil Wayne write a song, and so she was saying he actually addressed this too. He was like, so I'm real into Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott's my favorite artist.
Yep.
So he brought up that she was like, well, you need to do something, like make something that makes a sound. So he's like, he's rapping about jewelry. And she is like, why don't you say bling? And so he wrote the song and he said bling in reference to how his diamonds were shining. And then it transformed into bling bling. So he had help with it, but it still was out of the Cash Money camp.
Cash Money camp, yeah, for sure. But even here it says it was BG that was credited with coining the term. However, Lil Wayne rapped out on Outkast's Hollywood Divorce that he was the creator of it, but all these things say that it's BG.
I always thought it was Wayne.
I don't think it was BG.
It was a BG song. Bling Bling was a BG song.
It was a BG song. Yeah.
But he's not the one that came up with the chorus to Bling Bling.
Bling bling. Every time I come around, you said he. Who's actually saying that? Is that Wayne? Is that Wayne?
Yeah. Good impression.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. I think this is, I mean, he did, I guess, shape some.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at number one.
Kind of. I mean, bling bling.
I give him that.
I ain't mad at number one, bro.
Drop it like it's hot. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that one.
He came up with wobbly wobbly.
I would give him that more than bling bling.
I'll give him bling bling. The story that he told is, I think it sounds legit. I give him bling.
I'm gonna give him bling bling, bro.
Fair enough. All right. He revolutionized the mixtape era.
I don't agree with that.
Absolutely not.
Wayne revolutionized the mixtape scene with his innovative approach in the 2000s, like Dedication 2. The Drought 3 introduced a new model for distribution, bypassing traditional album releases to deliver high-quality content directly to fans. Notably, Wayne had a thing for rapping over other artists' beats, like everybody else did, often outshining the original tracks and making his versions more popular. This strategy not only showcases lyrical mastery, but also set a new standard for engaging with audiences by flooding the market with impactful free music. Wayne reshaped industry norms and ensured his presence remained dominant in a rapidly evolving landscape. His mixtape era remains a pivotal chapter of hip-hop history. I feel like Lupe was doing it earlier.
50 Cent was doing it before.
Was doing
50 Cent. 50 Cent is the future. Guess who's back? That's how he got his deal.
So 50 Cent, what you telling me is him getting his deal is dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
But are you telling me 50 Cent's mixtape run was bigger than Wayne's? That's the answer I'm looking for. Because that's what they're talking
because
about.
before that, mixtapes were a DJ maybe throwing on some freestyle.
Yeah, this mixtape.
Yeah, it wasn't an artist going into without a DJ a lot of times putting together what you'd call a street album. The Dedication and the Drop, those are kind of street albums. They're not actually mixtapes. But no. If you're going to give somebody credit, give it to 50 Cent because that's what Eminem heard that got him signed to.
That was early too.
Shady Aftermath. Because you got to understand when
that was like
when Wayne was doing this, he had a record. He had already sold millions of albums. He already was a signed artist,
and he was doing the squad up stuff, and people don't talk about none of the squad up stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, Lone, about Lupe though. With the Fahrenheit and all that, I remember that clearly. So I'm not mad at Lupe was definitely in there. I'm not mad at that.
Lupe was far too though, because you got to think when Lupe was doing it, that was like 06, 07, 08.
That was the later parts of it though. Like he was doing it.
He was doing it before that.
Yeah, because that's when like Food and Liquor came out in like 2005.
Oof.
No.
Somebody look that up.
Yeah, I was already living here, so it was after 2005.
Food and Liquor?
No, well, yeah, Food and Liquor didn't come out in 05.
The bootleg might have hit in 05, 06.
Lupe, it was definitely floating around. I remember. I was there. Let's see. September 19th, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Them Fahrenheits was coming out before. Them Fahrenheits was out there.
Maybe Wayne preceded him. I guess that's possible. So, it's number 3. He created a cultural shift with Young Money. Young Money Entertainment, established by Wayne, became a powerhouse in the music industry under his leadership. With the launch of careers for Drake and Nicki Minaj, the label significantly impacted the music scene, blending hip-hop with pop and beyond. Drake and Nicki's success as a direct result of Wayne's keen eye for talent and strategic vision. His role in nurturing and guiding these artists helped transform Young Money into a major force influencing pop culture on a global scale. The label's achievements are a testament to Wayne's legacy as industry leader. I will just say that I simply don't know much about Wayne's, like, he was like crafting stuff in the background as far as this stuff is concerned. So I can't really speak to this.
I tell you what.
I know Young Money was big, but
I tell you what, Drake and Nicki popped off after that Young Money imprint. I know that. It was different after they got with Wayne.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna use that as a metric, then I think number 3 might be right.
Didn't do much for Chucky and Lil Twist and Gouda Gouda.
Oh, here you go.
But hey, they all can't be winners.
They all can't win. They all can't be winners,
Clark.
All right. Number 4, his decades of dominance.
Decades?
His
Plural.
decades of dominance. Maintaining relevance in hip-hop for over 20 years is no small feat, and Wayne has achieved this with remarkable consistency. From his early days with the Hot Boys to his solo success, he has continually adapted to industry changes while staying true to his unique style. His ability to evolve musically and remain at the forefront of the genre underscores his versatility and influence. Wayne's long career is not just a testament to his skill, but also his enduring appeal across different generations. His sustained dominance exemplifies his impact on hip-hop. She sounds like a fanboy.
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as say decades. He definitely had a run where he was top dog.
I think
and
that's
not
about
decades.
It spanned about a decade.
A decade.
That's what I mean.
But they're saying decades.
Yeah, I know.
They're saying 20 years.
Yeah.
And they giving him a start. They starting him off with all the way back then. So
he's very influential as far as the music game is concerned. I'll give him that, but I wouldn't say he's been dominating for 20 years.
He had a hell of a run, though.
No, I can't.
When did his dominance really start? Would you say like
Carter 2?
5 or 6, somewhere around there?
Probably 1 going in. What going into 2? 1 going into
2001.
I'm talking about the Carter, like he said, the Carter albums.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't know when those dropped because I've never been a Wayne fan like that.
I can't say The Block Is Hot. That didn't do it for him.
Yeah,
it wasn't 500 degrees.
Nope. Didn't do it for him.
Everybody started talking about Wayne around the Carters. Like when people,
Carter series,
what I thought should know better, were talking about Wayne at Carter 2.
Yeah. And then you got to give him the credit, which goes back to the previous one. Once he came out with the Carters, and then he had Drake and Nicki Minaj. That kind of gave him some more, you know what I'm saying, star power as well.
And he started bodying features.
Absolutely.
He was bodying features everywhere doing that run.
Yeah, to me, when I think of like Wayne's best years, I think of like from 2006 to 2012.
I would say up until he got locked up. But when he did, Drake took over.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
Number 5, being crowned by Jay-Z.
When did this happen?
Receiving the torch from Jay-Z on Mr. Carter was a monumental endorsement for Wayne. The moment symbolized a passing of the baton from one rap legend to another, with Jay-Z acknowledging Wayne as his successor in the hip-hop hierarchy. This public affirmation of Wayne's status was a significant milestone in his career, elevating him to the highest echelon of the genre. Being chosen by Jay-Z highlighted Wayne's exceptional achievements in engraving his position as the best rapper alive. The honor marked a key moment in his legacy.
Yeah, that's subjective.
I don't think
based
that
off
was
of
a
well written, but
that was a collab. It wasn't because if you ask Jay, he was still the best rapper alive. You know, when he was doing no. I think this is 100% foolishness. Like Jay-Z never said, "I'm crowning little." No.
They fanned out on this one. They fanned out on this one. I don't know about that.
They took it a little
far.
Yeah.
Number 6, he redefined hip hop fashion.
No, he didn't.
No, man, you don't even got to read. You don't even got to read this.
Wayne's influence on hip hop fashion is undeniable as he seamlessly merged streetwear with rockstar aesthetics. His iconic look marked by face tattoos, dreadlocks, and a bold fashion choices helped redefine the norms of rap style. Collaborations like UGG and Bape were just the beginning. Wayne also launched his own clothing line, Truck Fit. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, Truck Fit didn't take off.
Nobody has.
I remember it.
I remember it. Nobody has Truck
Bape
Fit.
thing was from Clips.
And for real.
That's why they got the Me Too song.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tattoos started with Pac.
Well, which brought his unique vision to a broader audience. This line, known for its vibrant designs and bold statements, further cemented his role as a trendsetter in the fashion world. Wayne's fearless approach to style continues to challenge conventions, inspire artists.
Yeah, Fanboy wrote this.
Yeah, I'll give him the super fanboy.
I'll give him the dreads and the tats on the face because you can find 100 million of those. But other than that, with the clothes and the gear. No, I'm cool.
She talking about is it a woman that's writing this?
I think.
Be careful.
I think it's a she.
Yeah, he wrote about Truck Fit like it was Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, she's a fangirl.
Number 7, he is a Guinness World Record holder. In 2011, Lil Wayne set the Guinness World Record for the most entries on the Billboard Hot 100 by a hip hop artist. Although he does not still hold this record, it is a major testament to Wayne's relentless creativity and lasting appeal. With more than 100 hits under his belt, he's proven he can dominate the charts across every genre and style. This record not only highlights his undeniable presence in mainstream music, but also underscores his deep connection with listeners over the years. Wayne's consistent chart success reflects his profound influence and prolific career. The milestone is a clear marker of his extraordinary impact on the music industry.
That is a dope feat. I give him that.
I mean, a lot of this
but
stuff
as far
is,
as being a Guinness world record holder, I mean,
I could be the Guinness
Supernatural's a Guinness World Record holder. M80's a Guinness World Record holder. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
freestyling for like 2 days or something.
Yeah.
Number 8, he is a lyrical genius.
I knew you.
It's like it just completely turns into like conjecture or just like, you know what? The rest of the stuff is just stuff that I think. Maybe I don't know.
He dresses really nice.
Starting to get bad after
he is a lyrical
first
genius.
2 or 3.
Wayne's lyrical skill is celebrated for its intricate metaphors and inventive wordplay. I don't know if intricate and metaphors is something that I would say. No. I mean, like hot like the sun or something like that. It's not like super crazy, you know. His mastery of double entendres and triple entendres combined with his use of vivid similes sets him apart. Sorry, I just said a simile, actually. Apart in the rap world. By transforming everyday language into profound, thought-provoking lyrics, he showcased a poetic talent that captivates listeners. His creative approach to metaphor and layered meanings infuses deep. Would you even say that I don't think he's a metaphor rapper. He's a simile rapper.
Yeah. People don't know the difference between metaphors
Wayne,
and simile, those.
I've always...
Jay-Z is a metaphoric rapper.
Yeah, like...
In an entendre
like
rapper.
Pharoah Monch. Like...
Yeah.
I listen to too much hip hop to be really impressed by Wayne's wordplay. I know that sounds mean, but like
Wayne is nice,
he's nice, but you know, like,
but on a very surface level.
If you listen to the radio all the time and then you listen to Lil Wayne, you think that what he's doing is something special. But when you've been listening to hip hop faithfully, since you was 9, 10, 11 years old, like I have, I'm sorry, I just don't. It's not there.
As these kids say. He or she, whoever wrote this.
She for the third time.
Okay, it's double check. I got to be careful. Definitely glazing Wayne, as they say on this one.
So you can't. I don't know if you can use that since it's a woman that wrote this.
Well, it's too late now.
Yeah.
But no, he's still nice though. But yeah, with the way they're describing it, I wouldn't go that
Real
far.
G is moving silence like lasagna.
Yeah,
everybody brings up that same riff every time.
I liked it.
No, man.
I liked it.
If you a G, you silent like the one in front of Gnome. That one's way better.
I like that one too.
Yeah, that's a copyright line. But he's actually really good at
He's very good. He's very good.
Not that Wayne isn't good. I don't want this to come across like he's not good, but like
Wayne is good.
But
it's just like the pedestal that he's being put on.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of people they don't listen to that much hip hop when they talk about certain things.
This is getting worse, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting worse.
Wayne's innovative lyricism not only distinguishes him, but also inspires and shapes the direction of contemporary rap, influencing a new generation of artists to be also basic with similes.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
He is a freestyle king. Now, I watched this video.
Lil Flip is the freestyle king.
I watched this video. It is not even good.
You know who I would put up against him and he would destroy him on a regular basis? Common. I've seen Common rhyme about people in the audience, rhyme about what somebody has on. You know that is a freestyle. I've seen him do this in front of thousands of people. I've seen Common do this. He was in New Orleans and just walked by somebody else who was freestyling. It just happened to me. That is a freestyle king. When you hear what he did with the LA Leakers, like maybe about a year ago, it's not even a year ago because it was in promotion for the Pete Rock joint. That's a freestyle king. Like
Most Def was really good.
Listening to this, I'm sorry. Like, please stop with cap.
That might that sounded good.
You're right. The first time I listened to this, maybe I saw like a later part of it because I think I just skipped through it and I was just like, this is not even good. But that was actually straight. She says his freestyle approach to creating music is a masterclass. In spontaneity and raw creativity, unlike many of his contemporaries. He often crafts his verses on the fly. Who doesn't make their verses on the fly? That's what writing is. Bypassing written lyrics for a more instinctive flow. Oh, he doesn't write at all?
No, he doesn't write.
This technique allows him to deliver an unfiltered, authentic sound. Now, I have a problem with that because that's suggesting that writing is not authentic.
Yeah, it goes to the comparing of Jay-Z and
Jay
Biggie.
started all that.
These are people that don't write.
Biggie, yep.
So him being talented enough to come up and create music without writing is a feat in itself, but I wouldn't give him freestyle king.
Yeah, his freestyle skills are a testament to his extraordinary talent and commitment to his craft. His unique style has become a defining element of his legacy, setting a standard that other rappers have eagerly tried to follow and failed.
Yeah.
Number 10, he pioneered rappers going rock.
This is getting worse and worse.
This is getting worse and worse.
And who was so influenced by Wayne that they went rock after he went rock?
I mean,
Party Like a Rock Star dudes.
Yeah, Wayne's exploration of rock elements in hip hop, particularly with his 2010 Rebirth, broke new ground in the genre. By incorporating electric guitars and punk-inspired vocals, he expanded the boundaries of traditional rap. Although controversial at the time, his willingness to blend genres set a precedent for future artists like, I don't know, Lil Uzi Vert maybe? This innovative approach has influenced others in the industry to explore and integrate various music styles. Wayne's genre-bending efforts helped broaden what the scope of hip-hop can be. It's never been done like that before.
Nah.
A big fan right here.
Yeah, it is. They probably never even heard of Run DMC.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. But maybe Wayne brought it. I mean, I guess.
But brought it back.
What if I'm doing devil's advocate, right?
Please.
I'm guessing that the newer artists that are doing alternative styles, maybe in the last 5 years or so, or maybe 5 to 10 years, you could say maybe they were more influenced by Wayne doing that than Run DMC doing that.
Or there were groups called Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And another group called Linkin Park.
That's true.
And another group, like you said, Korn.
Like just because he used an electric guitar, like that's, you know.
Yeah. And they were influenced by hip hop. They'll tell you that we like to blend the genres together. And
POD, System of a Down. Like there's so much there.
I mean, she says he pioneered rappers going rock.
This is a fan.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fan.
The Hot Boys legacy.
I mean, that's a group effort.
I mean, yeah, but the Hot Boys.
He wasn't
Hot Boys.
If there was a lead singer, it wasn't Lil Wayne.
No, it was Juvenile.
Yeah. The Hot Boys with Wayne at the forefront are hailed as one of the most game-changing rap groups ever. Their explosive energy and powerful lyrics were crucial in shaping. Powerful lyrics were crucial.
Oh man,
you want to know what I'm gonna do next, huh? Were crucial in shaping the Southern rap scene and fueling Cash Money Records' accent. The group's groundbreaking success set the stage for Wayne's solo career, cementing their mark on the genre. Their legacy is still felt today as they continue to inspire new artists and influence the evolution of Southern hip hop.
They had one album. I mean, they had two, Let Them Burn, but it was after they'd already broken it.
The Hot Boys' impact is a vital part of Wayne's journey in a larger rap narrative.
Or just say Cash Money.
Cash Money, I think, more than the Hot Boys.
Yeah.
That will make more sense. Yeah,
but it
that
was
would make
definitely
more sense.
juvenile.
And then it was also,
Like,
you got to realize too,
and Manny Fresh.
it was a New Orleans thing because
That's
you
what I
had
mean.
Cash Money and you had No Limit.
Yeah.
It was kind of they were controlling the narrative from that region, and it was hot.
But I would even argue that it was, if you're going to make the argument for Wayne being this, even, Juvenile, in my opinion, definitely is above Wayne. But I would also say that I think Manny Fresh is above both of them because he incorporated the style of music,
The bounce
music within that, which in itself became what it was, and that was what was kind of significantly different even from what No Limit was doing.
You're going to start talking leaders and pioneers and all that type of stuff. It's easy in this to talk about Manny. Yeah, 100%.
Nate Jeezy said, "Get It How You Live" and Guerrilla Warfare. Yep, you are correct, sir.
Okay, that's right. Because I think "Get It How You
Rage
Live,"
Against the Machine.
Get It How You Live came out before like the Major Deal.
Shout out to Nate G.
Yeah,
He dropping
Public
game in the
Enemy,
chat.
Ice-T.
Get It How You Live
Yeah.
is the album cover that Lil Wayne looked like he was about 11 years old.
Yeah, as he
So
led the group through the
He still
tunnel.
he still had an afro.
Number 12 is also incorrect. He popularized auto-tune in hip-hop.
Oh, man.
Somebody called T-Pain.
Shout out to Teddy Payne, man.
Tunechis. I don't even know if I said his name.
Tunchi, man.
Okay, well, Tunchi's trailblazing use of auto-tune
Trailblazing.
was pivotal in making it a staple in hip-hop. Although T-Pain is often credited with popularizing the effect, Wayne's incorporation of auto-tune in hits like Lollipop and Got Money played a crucial role in establishing it within the genre.
Get Money had T-Pain on it.
Yep.
Oh, man.
This is terrible.
His innovative approach blended rapping and singing. T-Pain did that too a little bit. Adding a fresh dimension to his sound. This experimentation encouraged many artists to embrace autotune as a creative tool. Wayne's influence. This is
Revisionist history.
This is revisionism. Like, to say that Wayne did this and not T-Pain, like,
Yeah, that's
this
crazy.
is crazy. Wayne's influence on autotune has become a key aspect of his music evolution. I like Wayne when he uses less autotune. Personally, I think.
I do too.
And I think T-Pain actually does it well.
Yeah.
He
So,
does.
There's that.
He's the example of good auto-tune.
He bridges genres with ease.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Are you just so we just going to talk about the same thing again?
Yeah.
That's what this blending hip hop with other what other genres has he really
I've heard
done?
blending hip hop with other genres like 12 times in this thing, man.
Jay-Z did a whole album
Lollipop?
with Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Is Lollipop? What? I thought that was just like this is a rap record, right?
It is.
It is.
Okay. I Am Not a Human Being album. These works displays talent for integrating rock, pop, and EDM elements into his music while staying rooted in rap. This genre blending approach has broadened hip hop's appeal, making it accessible to a wider audience. Wayne's bold experimentation with various sounds has inspired other artists to explore and push genre boundaries. I don't know, man.
All right, say you're a Lil Wayne fan and write it in motion without saying you're a Lil Wayne fan.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what this
Started
article
off with a
is.
spark, though. Started off with a spark.
Because we started at number one. Had we gone
The
from,
first three, I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of.
that's there was a discussion to be had.
Yeah.
The
There's
first
some
three.
credence behind those,
Yeah.
but
sure.
the rest of it is just
No.
fanfare at the end of the day.
Yeah, this could have been 3 ways Lil Wayne is really important to hip hop as opposed to
Revolutionized.
13 ways he
as somebody who was a journalist for like I have a problem with sensationalism and
Come on,
stuff like
man.
this, man. That's like 13.
Clickbait.
So
Clickbait.
again, Charmaine Johnson. So I don't really
Sorry,
mean
Charmaine.
Sorry,
don't mean
Charmaine.
to harp on you like that, but
I mean,
It's very well
don't
written.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're a Lil Wayne fan, be a Lil Wayne fan, but no.
gotta
But
do
you
better
got to
than
do
this.
the knowledge.
Yeah, there's just too much inconsistencies and revisionism in here, and I'm not even like a Wayne person like that.
No, I like Wayne, and I hate to sound like a Wayne hater by disagreeing with so many things on this list, but it's like you're giving him too many props where those props aren't even necessary. Wayne stands as a solid artist on his own without being glazed, whether it was a woman or a man that wrote this article.
Facts. I don't know if I really want to do this one because I stared at it and I was just kind of like,
Maybe.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just don't like Candace Owens at all.
What you call her?
Hey, that's
That's kinda
actually-
fire, ain't it?
That actually works.
Yeah.
She
Clandis?
like,
Clandis?
I don't like Candace at all, and the reason there's multiple reasons behind this, but like even in like the video in this article. Like she does a whole podcast and she Beyonce's mommy attacks me on Instagram, but she like intentionally says Kamala Harris's name wrong. Like
Yeah,
it's like stupid shit like that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know.
I don't want to talk.
No, I don't want to talk about her.
Yeah. So bye bye. Just like I'm not interested in talking about Ben Shabibo.
Somebody's talked about her. They said Gabrielle Union, and they showed a picture of Candace Owens like Gabrielle Confederate.
Dang. Gabrielle Confederate. I like that.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
It is. Hey. All right now.
NewOldHeads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe to it, hit the bell for notifications, and also remember to give us a 5-star rating at any point that you can. Check out our Patreon options as well. We have some cool content in store for you guys. We appreciate the support, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.